space with us.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So let's go to Facebook so everybody else can enjoy this stuff. Gonna add to the description because I just got your bio. Okay. Okie doke. I even did I even did a little advertisement last night.
About this interview?
Yeah,
awesome.
I put a teaser and I like, watch the video. She's gonna be our guest. Arielle Powell's gonna be our guest today.
That's awesome.
So thank you all for joining us for Wanda's Picks Virtual. We've already started, you know, because you're sort of like coming in mid-laugh. But yeah, we're so excited to have Arielle Powell joining us. She portrays Miriam in I always want to say Ubuntu Theater, but Oakland Theater Project is opening its season with a new work. And it's epic. You know, if you know Oakland Theater Project, you know they do epic very well. And and this piece, Exodus to Eden, is, oh my goodness, it's contemporary, but it's also epic. It's also mythology. You know, it's like all these archetypes are coming to play. And you know, the co-founder Michael Moran, Socrates, he does that so well. I mean, he just lives in the hero's journey. That's like his journey.
Exactly, so like his name.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And wow, I mean, I wanted to call you Miriam, but Miriam, you know, you think about Miriam, you think about Mary, you know, you think about Miriam, you think about the mother archetype, you know, like the one who gives birth to all of us.
Yeah.
And you know, it sounds like with that name that might be your character. And then
my mother's name is actually Mary in the show. And she is that matriarchal figure. She leads all of the people to like the promised land, and gets like their buy-in, because I think that my character is a little bit resistant to the movement or to the community or to the change. And Mary is the one that kind of unites us all in the beginning. So but then of course, Miriam does not fall far from the tree. So we are that mother-daughter figure together in the show. And Awele is amazing to work with in this process.
Yeah, Awele is epic. I mean, she teaches young people, you know, the art of theater, you know, at Skyline, and then she's also acting, you know, and then the work that she writes, you know,
and then the way that she looks and how she is in our community.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
A whole presence. Yes, she's been amazing to work with. So.
And she's your character's mom, huh?
She is my character's mom. I'm so lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I was just reading sort of the descriptions of some of these characters, and we're gonna tell you what this is about in a minute, y'all. Yeah, like there's an angel that's got a tree hooked to the wing, so I guess the angel can't fly unless the angel flies with the tree.
Well, but she's bound to the earth, and I think that there's a lot of symbolism around Mother Earth and how when things become burdensome, they like take your life away, or they take your spirit, or they take that impetus to like go, because things become so burdensome that you like almost forget. So that is one of the themes that's running through this epic tale, is this idea that Mother Earth has like almost forgotten her magic.
Wow, that's scary that Mother Earth could forget her magic. I mean, like, if life is not magical, what else is, you know?
Exactly. And I
Oh,
think it's like a journey of all of our characters figuring out, you know, how to bring that life back in all of us. I mean, Miriam is a little bit over it in the beginning. Mother Earth is being bound by this tree. Like the world is upside down, I think, upside down and backwards, as my grandma says in the show. And so it is like a journey to try to make things right again, or right side up.
Yeah. I think your character is married, right? And I
Nope.
think no,
My character
no,
is
no,
like
no.
a,
Your mother is married. Your character.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, character's
yeah.
mother. Yeah, she's married to Dorian Lockett's character. He plays Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And you have a stepbrother, I think.
Correct. His
Uh-huh.
name is Jordan in the show, played by William Oliver the Third.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jordan, like the river, huh?
Yep. Every name has some biblical reference, I'm sure.
Wow, wow. And it's just amazing because you've been with Ubuntu. No, I keep on saying Ubuntu. I don't know why I say
You
that.
can. We are Ubuntu. We are the company formerly known. Oakland Theater Project is like where you can find us and stay in touch with us and engage with us. But we are the company formerly known as Ubuntu. So yeah, it's all a part of our origin story for sure.
Right, right. And you've been with the company since 2012. When did the company start?
So I believe in 2012, they
Okay.
started as a summer stock. I think they did like 3 or 4 shows, and we were site specific, and I got involved just as front of house in a volunteer position. And it was because I was friends with William Hodgson,
Yes.
so co-artistic director like back in the day. And he got me involved like early on. We went to acting school, PCPA, Pacific Conservatory of the Performing Arts. I was living in the Bay Area, and then him and Michael had come up here and partnered with Colin, and they were doing this theater summer stock program. And I was like, yeah, I want to totally be involved in that. And then they started to do a full year of shows. And so I started to house manage when I could. I was working a full-time job. And then last year, yeah, right after like the pandemic and all of that, I came on in a full-time role here as the director of patron experience and outreach. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And so I think I was reading that you haven't been in front of an audience as an actor since 2008, I think it
Oh
said.
yeah. So in
Yeah.
2008, I was in Ragtime with William
Oh,
Hodgson at
yeah.
the PCPA, or Pacific Conservatory of the Performing Arts.
Mm-hmm.
We did their summer show there, and yeah, that was the last time I was on stage. I mean, I did step in Down Here Below in Lisa Ramirez's show
Yeah, that was
in
good.
2019. Yeah, I played like the social worker, and I still
Mm.
house managed for that show, and I came in and did one scene. But to be a part of like the acting process from beginning to end, and to like be in this entire show run has been, yeah, a really awesome opportunity that I have not had since 2008.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it's like being knowing how to cycle on a bike.
Yeah, getting
You,
back on the
you just
bike.
just get back on the bike, right? You don't forget, your legs don't forget how to do it.
Exactly. This is like a moto bike though. This is not yeah, I was like, what a show to be the first thing that I got back into. It is quite the show. So
Yeah. And other, besides, you mentioned that that you attended the Pacific Conservatory of Performing Arts, and your previous credits being down here below: Oakland Theater Project, Susico, the musical at PCPA, Caucasian Chalk Circle at PCPA, and are you Bay Area born,
I was
raised
actually
person?
born in Salinas, which is
Okay,
like Monterey County,
I know
still
Salinas.
kind of Bay, but not San Francisco Bay Area. Then I have a sister that's 3 years younger than me. She was born in San Francisco, where I currently live. And then I have a twin brother and sister, and my sister is actually the one house managing the show now in my absence. Like since I'm on stage, she's taken over the space. But I grew up in Fresno, Central Valley, for high school, and then came back to the Bay Area after college.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was just thinking, Selena's John Steinbeck, right?
Oh yes, Grapes of
And
Wrath.
right. And Ubuntu at that time did Grapes of Wrath, because I
Yep.
brought my class to see it. And that was at a church over off of
Yes.
MacArthur. Yeah, I go back with Ubuntu to the beginning, to the summer.
I remember seeing Grapes of Wrath in that cafeterium.
Yes.
And I think I was there on a technical difficulty night, which we've had plenty of those in our 10 years. And they did the show just in like house lights on in a cafeterium. They did Grapes of Wrath, and I have never seen anything cooler in my life. I was like, this is the coolest thing, just the site specific energy, and then like the fact that the show just kept going on even though like their lighting system had gone out, and the fact that they were performing in this church. Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, it seems like Ubuntu and now Oakland Theater Project love church as the site, specific place. Because I remember the play that kicked it off in this church. No, actually it was the YWCA in downtown Oakland.
Yep.
That had
When
all
they
these
did
beautiful
Dance of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, that was hecka
Gorgeous.
beautiful. And all the balconies and the beautiful architecture. And then I think it was reprised or something at this church that's got a rainbow on it.
Yeah. On in East Oakland. Yep. I've been there for all of those iterations. Yes,
Yeah.
I think part of the reason that we end up in church spaces is because we were site specific for so long. And so any community space that allowed us to perform, I think that we made our way to, because I remember them being in like shoe stores. I remember them being in the there's like an airplane museum.
Yeah, right over on Doolittle. That was nice.
In the carpet, the Persian carpet store. And so it's like any kind of connection or community space that allows us to perform, we've definitely made our way.
Yeah, because I missed this one, but I think the one that William Hodgkin was a solo piece. Wasn't it in some mansion
It was in a donor's home, yes, in Berkeley, and she has like a stage in her basement. And so she did an entire performance of I Am My Own Wife. And I actually house managed that show. And we flipped on her kitchen lights for, I remember, some scene. But it's been really fun.
Yeah,
trying to make all the different spaces work. Yeah.
Yeah, when I read about that one, I thought about that maybe it was, I thought about Julia Morgan. I was wondering, like, who was the architect of this house,
Yes, I think all those Berkeley homes have like ballrooms or stages, because there was this focus on performing, or it was just part of the culture, I think, of that community, still is. Like, I lived in Berkeley for 6 years when I first moved to the Bay Area. And I remember there was like fiddle players, like every single evening they would go out onto their porch and like play a fiddle. And so I think that is the nature of those like Berkeley homes, is like folk dancing and instrument playing and singing. But that home was gorgeous, and we fit a tiny little audience in there. So it was awesome.
Yeah. Cool. And then going back to your own, coming up and growing up, you said you grew up in Fresno, and I just thought immediately of Allensworth,
Yes.
that, town, founded by those, Black, folks, that
And
wanted some liberation after, like to be able to really grow a community after enslavement and not have all of that stigma attached to it.
No, I loved growing up in Fresno. I was just going to say, like, Audra McDonald was like a huge star when I was growing up, and then went to Roosevelt School of the Arts, and like had just gone to Broadway and just done ragtime when I was like growing up. So I just remember growing up in theater being like a huge thing that put Fresno on the map. So it was always super fun for me to be like, I'm from Fresno, like Audra McDonald. Oh,
yeah. Funny. So why don't I try to share my screen here, and let's show a little clip of the play. And the play runs through the end of this month, February 26th.
Yep, I think that Sunday is a 2 p.m. matinee.
Right. And what I noticed also about the Oakland Theater Project was how affordable the theater is. If you really want to be there, you can be there. Don't say, oh, I couldn't afford it, because that's not
true. And I think that's part of our commitment to being site specific, was that we want to take theater to communities that don't have traditional theater spaces. And so everything is pay what you can, even if $10 is out of your budget, just reach out to the box office and we're happy to accommodate you if you really want to come.
Yeah, I think that's really marvelous, because I think everybody needs theater.
Me too.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, darn it. I had it all together and now it's not together. Now let's try it again. Oh, here we are. Okay. Yeah, your picture is just so gorgeous. On the flyer, you just look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna share my screen here. Can you see yourself?
I most definitely can.
Okay. And I'm gonna scroll down to this nice video I watched. I was like, oh, this is so nice. So we're gonna watch this.
Trailer was awesome.
Yeah.
Exodus to Eden is a journey for hope, a reverse migration of America's westward mythology, following an exiled people across America, constantly finding and renewing their sense of hope in the face of extraordinary challenges. Miriam is the central character, and throughout this journey she has these dreams, and in her dream she finds herself again and again and again inside of this prison. And she sees a guardian angel who has become a prison guard. She sees the man who offers her a Faustian bargain, and she sees the exiled angel carrying a tree on her back. The other characters in the play make up the people, these bereaved pilgrims carrying grief on their back, and they are searching for a home. The question in many ways for Miriam, which ends up being the larger question for the play, is how do you get out of the prison? Trying to come to terms with what that breaking free means in our world.
And we are holding on for dear life.
And
So we added music into this piece.
which was really nice. Let me mute this. Let's see. What I thought was really nice, in playing that clip last night to
Yeah.
prepare, was that I didn't know you all had a YouTube channel. It's like, so I could go back and look at the backstories on some of these plays. I'm like, or just relive some great moments.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, nice. So I'm following. So I want to tell people, you should definitely follow these things, like,
Mhm.
YouTube, because what happens is they just pop up. You're like talking on your phone, all of a sudden something to pop up. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So, wow, I just love, that there's a character called the Man, and then there's the prison guard, and so the question for your character is, how do you get out of the prison? What is the prison?
Yeah, the prison represents a lot of different things for different people. I think Miriam's prison is her addiction in the beginning. And then it morphs, which I feel like is kind of what happens in the second part of the play. Like she kind of gets over her addiction, but then there are other obstacles, I think, in your way. As all humans know, you get over one obstacle and there are plenty more in your way. But just like, I just think learning how to overcome those obstacles and like believing in yourself and letting your community show up for you are like some of the lessons that Miriam learns along the way. But that prison is kind of the symbol for those different obstacles, and breaking out of that prison. She has like the help of some people who have been in prison before, and those are like the prophets. They're trying to help her and guide her. And then the people who I think are battling with kind of their own prison are just showing up for her in community. And that's the story that we're telling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does it feel? Unless it's happened to you multiple times,
Yeah.
for your person to be in the writer's mind when the character is created. Does it feel like, I read that you said sometimes the words that come out of your character's mouth, you could have said that.
Yeah, my character is not afraid of confrontation. That's kind of the nicest way to say it. I think in the beginning, she's even like, let's bring the confrontation on. Like, that's like a very comfortable place for her to live. And there's this constant theme of becoming creation, or not being destructive, or not being self-destructive, and not being so quick to like violence. And that's kind of Miriam's journey. But I think that I said in another interview, Michael cast me because I'm loud, or he saw me as Miriam because I am like a very big personality or a loud person. And then he said on opening night, I think that it was because I was a person who would never allow something to be wrong or unjust. And I think that that is very in line with who I am personally. Like, if there was something that was wrong, I would definitely be vocal about it, very vocal. And I am not afraid of confrontation. And I do think that wrongs can be righted. And so those are themes that I think carry Miriam through the play. There are obviously things that I don't align with, like I'm not a drug addict. I am not pregnant. I'm not even a person who wants to be a mother, but I do understand how that's part of Miriam's journey and how it's like a beautiful thing that happens to her. that I don't ever really want to happen to me.
Mhm.
So it's been really interesting knowing that I was an influence in this character, but also seeing like the differences between me and this character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how are you going to step back into being the senior director of patrons experience after, sort of experiencing this really, I mean, this beautiful opportunity to do something different?
Yes, I am going to be thrilled. I'm just kidding. I love my job and I love being behind the scenes and I love supporting all of the work that Oakland Theater Project's doing. And I honestly feel like it has been the most amazing opportunity, but it's been a lot of like, it's been mostly for me, I think. Being on stage has been like an amazing opportunity. I'm really proud of myself, how I've showed up in this moment, how I've showed up for like myself, the company, my other cast members. But I think that in my role, I get to show up for the community and my team in different ways. And honestly, I mean, this could be debated, but I think that my skill set is better suited for the senior director of patron services. Like, I can't wait to be at the front door. I can't wait to engage patrons. And no, and it's been amazing, but I am really excited to step back into my role because I think that I'm great there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, all the roles are important.
for sure.
Mhm.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So who would you say that this work, who's the audience?
That's a great question. I think that anyone could come and see the show because there are some like pretty human themes like throughout. I think that it's definitely geared towards a theater goers like palette, just because there's a lot of like literary themes. There's a lot of theater jokes. It was created with like a theater company in mind. Yeah, I think Michael loves the world of theater. And so it's kind of like a ode to some great theater works like Grapes of Wrath, Angels in America. So I think it is definitely geared towards someone who like loves the theater and geared towards people who are theater makers.
Mhm.
But anyone could really come and see the show. My entire family came and saw the show opening weekend. They are not the most avid theater goers, and they enjoyed themselves just because there are so many different elements. And the whole like site specific element of being in the FLAX art and design and us performing in the garage was really cool to like my aunt. And then all of the design aspects like the angel wings and the mulch and the lighting was like really engaging to my mother. And so I think there's a little bit different of interest for everybody.
Mhm.
And our theater is not like your typical experience. So if you want to do something like fun or interesting or just have like an adventure in Oakland, I think coming to this is definitely going to hit all those marks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I remember a lot of times at the Oakland Theater Project that when you enter um, the room, the ritual starts.
Yep.
And sometimes there might be someone sitting there, or there might be a prop, but
Correct.
you know that it's a sacred space ritual. Your voices, go down a little bit, and
Yep.
then you just sit there and it's like, okay, so what's going on now?
Exactly. That is how our play starts with me. I think I'm asleep on stage, and then Nkechi is singing and dancing all around me. So you already know that there's some magic about to happen. And that's kind of how the space is presented when you first walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about the musicality of the work, because I think there's a lot of movement. I think when I was reading the directions that people move together and they sing. And I don't
Yes.
know how it
So
works, but I think there's a lot of music in the play.
yeah, we march and we're on this journey. And so every time we march, it's connected to music. So I think that sometimes people are like, where are all these songs coming from? And I'm like, well, we're on the journey again. And that's supposed to signify the fact that we are en route. There's also a moment with music that's connected to Mother Earth or the exiled angel, how I was talking about the earth being strapped to her back. She is my spiritual guide, kind of. She is looking out for me and making sure that I am supported through this story. And so every time she whispers or tries to teach me a prophecy or give me some kind of vision, it is expressed through song. So that is like another time that song is like used as a storytelling element. So we use group songs to march. We use like whispers, and like it's one song in particular, Cuthbiro, in order to signify like the exiled angel whispering or giving me a prophecy. And then at the end of the play, we end in Hallelujah, which is, I don't even sing, but I get to sit there and listen to my beautiful cast sing to me. And so it's one of the most beautiful moments to me in the play. But Michael loves to use music as a storytelling element. And we definitely use that to drive a lot of the movement in the play.
Wow, yeah. I'm really looking forward to doing the live stream this weekend, and then
Yeah,
it'll be recorded and people can just do on demand. So
correct.
that's on Saturday the 18th, right?
Most definitely. I'm going to be sending you a link after our interview today, and you'll be able to watch that on Saturday. The whole group, I think, can watch at a certain time at 7:30. And then directly after that, you can watch it at your leisure. I think for a month after the original live stream date.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
It's
So
awesome.
after the play closes, you can still be connected.
Oh, yes. It's like
Ah.
our, I think, opportunity to make sure that people who still can't attend in person get an opportunity to stay engaged with us.
Yeah.
And then like another person in my cast has friends and family abroad. So it gives them an opportunity to share in our work and support us.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to do some shout outs, for the cast and the folks that make the lights work and the designers. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to do that, as well as,
Gosh, I need a list.
if you want to, if you want to, call out some ancestors that are walking with you in this role
Right?
as well.
So who would I like to call out? Well, I'd like to shout out Liam. He's like our stage manager, and he's been like my BFF through this whole process. And it has been like an epic process. Obviously Michael, I've already thanked him for like the opportunity. I would love to call out Dr. Stephanie Ann Johnson. She's our lighting designer, been with us all 10 years. I have never looked more beautiful on stage. Those production photos, I'm like, my family showed up and supported me. My mom, it was her 60th birthday on my opening, and she came out, of course, to see me in a show. And yeah, I think William Hodgson, my best friend of life, for making me even come back on stage, work for this theater company. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a million other people, but yes, those are the front of mind folks right now.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent. Wow. Well, anything that we didn't touch on that you want to
No, it's been so fun talking to you this morning. Thank you so much for just checking in with me and asking me about myself. And I'm so excited that you are excited to watch the show this weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm so excited. And it's like, okay, it gives me an opportunity to write something before the end of the run. Yes, yes. We're looking forward to, being able to be back with all of the folks because it's a really close community. I mean, I miss being next to people.
That is, yeah, it's my favorite thing to be back in the theater in the last year, and then to just be back with like all my favorite theater people. So it's definitely a blessing.
Yeah. And then in the Bay Area, like you see the same people in different companies and different, productions, like, and it really feels home. It's like, oh,
It really does.
I know you.
No, it's like we did thoughts Michael Wayne Turner Hat Matter, and then it was at Z Space, and I went and saw it there. And then it's like we are doing Mahabharata remounted at Z Space, and it's like all circular. Yes. So it is amazing to be a part of this community and like to see Ubuntu folks and OTP folks at like other theater companies, and then for us to get new folks in here too. It's so awesome.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you have a performance tonight?
No, but I have one tomorrow, Friday and Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy your day off.
Thank you so much. It's been so nice talking to you.
And lovely speaking to you too. You take good care.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. So Oakland Theater Project, once again, is thrilled to begin its 2023 season, History versus Hope, with the world premiere of Exodus to Eden, a contemporary epic written and directed by Oakland Theater Project's co-founder and co-artistic director, Michael Socrates Moran, and starring Arielle Powell, whom we just spoke to. The production plays at the Oakland Theater Project's FLAX Art and Design, and it's at 1501 Martin Luther King Jr. Way through February 26th. And the performances are again Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through February 26th. And all the performances are at 7:30 p.m. except on Sunday matinees. There are at 2 o'clock. There's one this Sunday, the 19th, and then there's one on closing Sunday, the 26th. And tickets are $10 to $55 online, and you can get tickets at Oakland Theater with the ER project.org/Eden, EDEN. Or you can call 510-626-1126. Again, 510-626-1156. And we want to thank again Arielle Powell, who portrays Miriam, the star, but they're all stars. And thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Wanda's Picks Virtual. Take good care.